In this video, we will go through the process of creating a designer workspace. The term workspace refers to the folder structure that contains all relevant files for designing a specific area. We advise to create a separate workspace for each project and to store it on a logical location on your hard drive. To create your workspace, first of all, open up the Fiber Planet Designer Plugin Configuration dialog. In this dialog, press the Browse button, which is located next to the Workspace field, and then just go to the location on your hard drive where you want to store your files. It is advised to create a new, empty folder and provide it with a descriptive name for your project. So, for this example, let's call this one Workspace Ghent. Note that the Initialization wizard will override existing files. Hence, it is preferred to start from a new folder for each workspace. Next, we press the Initialize button. This will bring up the Workspace Initialization dialog. Notice that this dialog has two parts, a section to select the GIS files containing your input data, and a section to choose the template of your workspace. First of all, we want to select the demand points. This file should contain the point locations of each building included in our design. For this tutorial, we will reuse the example shapefiles that were provided with the installation of the Fiber Planet Designer. The second file is the Street Center Lines file. This file contains information about the location of the streets. Finally, we will be reusing a fixed central office, which can be done by selecting a file containing its geographical location. You also have the possibility to reuse other existing infrastructure, such as pipes, trenches, or poles, for aerial deployment. But in this tutorial, we will not go into the details of these topics. The second section is for selecting the template. We provide a default template, which is used for creating a standard design. The template for 2 distribution layers contains extra visualizations for the additional layer. In this case, however, we will stick to the standard workspace template. So, now that we have our workspace, we can verify that the street center lines have been copied, and the demand points and central office as well. It's important to notice that our demand points have attributes. There is a point-to-point homes and a pawn homes attribute. They indicate the total demand of each customer type per building. If you are using a custom shape file, it is important to add these attributes to input your demand requirements to the software. Finally, we can go to the Fiber Planet commands in the Plugins menu and select Open the Workspace folder, or just use the shortcut. This will take us to the folder where all of the workspace files are stored. You will notice an Input folder. This folder contains a backup of all of the files that were selected during the workspace creation. There is also a Calculation Input folder. This one contains those files that will be used during the locking procedure to allow manual interaction with the automatically generated design. And we have a Processed Area folder, which will contain the mapping file that is going to be used for our calculations later on. And finally, there is an Output folder. This subfolder will contain the results of your latest calculation. And with this brief overview of the contents of your newly created workspace, we can finish this tutorial. The next step in the designer workflow will be to perform the input processing.